Well, welcome back to the channel once again. Sorry for my delay on this video, or I guess absence of being here. A lot of work trips kind of came out of nowhere and they kind of drug on for a while, but regardless, I'm here. Today I want to do a fun video on all the interior mods I've done. I feel like every video I do, someone asks, hey, about this or that, where'd you get that? And I thought it'd be easy just to do one video explaining all the mods I've done on the inside and links below where you can find it. I've done so many, I've kind of lost track, so this would be kind of good for me too to see what I've done and what else I got to do. I think the interior is about 95% wrapped up, and then go back to the outside, and then we'll do a little bit of engine work at the end, and then I think the Z06 project will be wrapped up. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that intro, and we'll get into it. All right, so in no particular order, I'll take you through the interior of the car, one line item at a time. I'll tell you what it is, where I got it, how the install was, and where you can find it. So let's go over the car. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with a few things that you actually can't see, and that is the sound insulation I did underneath all of the carpet in the back as well. It's not a terrible job. It takes about a full day. You do have to remove both the seats, the console, and all the carpeting in the back, and some of the trim pieces around the speaker. And also I want to clarify that all of these mods I'm explaining, I have videos on in my library, so feel free to go through my library. You'll find everything I'm talking about in there. Yeah, one of the best mods I did, you don't even see, is simply sound insulation, and I simply used a type of roofing patch. You can get a roll of it. It's almost identical to Dynamat at about 1/5 the cost. The cost wasn't too bad doing the project at all, but it was took me about a whole weekend to do, just taking everything out at a snail's pace. But doing that mod afterwards, driving this thing around, was so quiet. Totally worth it. All right, so I'll go ahead and start next in the door panels here. If you guys follow me, I recently did the door panels in a leather trim, both sides. Hopefully you can see that over there as well. It turned out okay for a first-time job. Hopefully, if you saw that video, use my lessons learned. Try to line up these a little better. See here in the back, this doesn't quite match up. It kind of bothers me. If you do this correctly, or take your time, you can probably fix that. I'll be okay with it. I can live with it. I still got to get some of the super glue off right there, but it's not a huge deal. But all things considered, never doing leather work, I'm pretty happy with it. This job was about $250 for both sides, and just the price of glue, etc., wasn't too bad at all. It took me about 6 hours total on both sides. All right, next we'll go over to the seats. This is one of the most asked about things I've done. These are the Amazon specials. These are about 1.5 years old, 10,000 miles on them. Now this seat right here is actually my driver's seat. It's about last week when I finally switched them because I did the C6 seatbelt mod. As you can see, I'm able to fit it through the cavity right there, and it works just fine. And I got a video on the seatbelt replacement to a C6. I did, last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Not too bad of a job at all. These seats are holding up just fine. A lot of people will tell you they're very unsafe. These feel a lot more stout than the stock situation, so I'm not too worried about it. If you're worried about it all, just don't do it. But definitely worth the money and the upgrade. So I love them for what they are. People put their nose up at them, but I think they're just fine. Great seats. Nothing too crazy, and they fit the car very well, both aesthetically and literally fit the car great. Next thing I'll touch on, again, like I just said, is the C6 seatbelts. This allows you to use a lever on the correct side. You can move the seat forward and aft, no issues at all. You can recline it just fine now. It doesn't get hung up. It fits perfectly. Like I said, both sides are good to go. The only adjustments you got to make from the C6 to the C5 is on this little guy right there. You do have to grind off about 1 millimeter all the way around to fit in the seatbelt receptacle, but it's not a big deal. All right, and right next to the seats, you see the matching stitched center console. I did that last week. That was super easy. It took about 20 minutes to do. Huge improvement. Cost me about $40. Really happy with it. I believe next week I will be doing this boot. I just got to find one online to match it, and I'll probably do this guy up here too. There's a one that goes right over top of it. So all these will be nice and uniform. Lots of continuity, and then of course I'm going to want to do the dash as well. But that is something I'll do at the very, very end when this entire project's about wrapped up. Oh, I might as well touch the floor mats here. These are not the OEM. These are Lloyd floor mats. Z06. I like this much better than the stock situation. These were about $100, but definitely worth it. They look like really good quality, and I do like them. All right, coming inside the car here now. This is, in fact, an MGW. I did extend it about 1.5 inches just because my transmission, the first to second key is kind of going out. It's kind of a bear to shift it. This gave me some more leverage to get the transmission some more life out of it, I guess. But the MGW, how it comes is perfect. I just have a kind of unique situation to where my transmission is starting to go out. I will be rectifying that sooner than later. Really good shifter. I love it. This is the flat stick shift knob, and I just put this little extension piece right there up here. I can turn it on for you guys. My Joying 8.8 inch 1.5 den stereo. I get asked about this a lot, and I have quite a few videos on this unit, both install and how to use it. It's a great little system. The biggest flaw with this is that trying to adjust the volume is a total boner, so I installed this analog controller right here to where you can just use it wirelessly, and it makes it much easier to drive. I'm very happy with this guy. It's very seamless design, how it works in there. I love it. All right, next big ticket item is the push button start right here. I got a lot of questions about this. I did fabricate my console or my trim piece right here to accommodate this. This will not fit. This button will not fit in the stock situation. I had to fill this in a little bit with some filler. Again, I have a whole video on that as well in my library if you're curious. I love it. I've had zero issues with it at all. You simply just put the clutch and the brake in and it starts right up. Turn it off, put the clutch in, put your foot on the brake and it turns right off. One button, one push, no big deal. And this is your on, and you can get one more to your accessory, and then one more, and then it's off. Just like a key, no big deal. All right, up next is the HUD. I do not have a stock HUD because I have a 2001 Z06, so I threw that guy in myself about, oh geez, almost 2 years ago. The process looks pretty involved, but it's not too bad. Again, I have a video on that as well. If you're curious, you gotta take the entire dash off. Again, it's not that crazy of a job. If you have a 2000 up, it will be plug and play. If not, you will need a 2000 up instrument panel or gauge cluster to do it, and it's pretty much plug and play, and I'm very happy with it. As you can see, I did put LEDs and all the lights all the way around, both to save your battery and to give you a lot more light when you're in the cabin with the door open. Super simple mod, and I love it. It takes about 5 minutes to do, and relatively cheap. All these bulbs, and even ones for the outside rear license plate, I think for like $12, not bad at all. I did replace both window switches with LEDs, as you can see right there. Well, you can kind of see right there. But yeah, that was super simple. Both of those, I think, for both $60, give or take. Up here as well, these little guys are actually LED. It doesn't quite match the other white ones over there because those are LED as well. It's kind of weird, the same company. Those turned out really white in the middle. These have more of a yellow tint, so that kind of confused me, but it's one of those little things I can live with. One of the biggest ticket items I did is actually the steering wheel. This thing cost me almost $1,000. It's flat bottom, kind of a square top to it, very similar, reminiscent to the C8 wheel. Hopefully you can see it there. Very, very nicely done. This was an eBay vendor. I believe it's called Dash Redesign, I believe. The link will be below, of course, but I love this thing. It really transformed the feel of the car. This, with the shifter, with the seats, the car feels like a totally different car. Much more proper for the C5. So I believe that's everything I've done on the interior. I feel like I'm missing something. And if you guys watch my channel are like, yeah, you're totally missing this, let me know. For the interior, coming up next is just the visors. On the driver's side, I will be integrating some sort of home link device. I might fabricate something, so I'll get rid of that super low clip deal. And then eventually later on, I will probably leather wrap the dash and the center console, just so continuity and uniformity. But overall, the interior, I'm very happy with it. I still got to fix the door panels a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Again, any questions you guys have about the stereo, the push button, the seats, the brackets on the seats, even floor mats, let me know. I know, point you in the right direction or get you the help you need or advice you need, etc. After the interior is done in a couple weeks, I'll move into the rear end here, doing blackout in the bottom, blacking out the balance, probably black out some, or smoked eagle eyes and blacked out reverse lights. That makes sense. And then Some DLRs up front to match the ones in the rear. DRLs, daytime running lights. Yeah, DRLs. The little laser deals. They make ones now for the front, look really cool. Maybe a front splitter. I gotta get some better tint on the windows. And then 18s up front to match the rears. Do the huge brake kit, probably the Willwood, and then probably a little cam. And I think this project's done. And then at the very, very end, I'll get a new transmission and probably rebuild the transmission. That'll be a job to do. I don't know if I'm gonna do it myself yet. That might be a fun video to rebuild it. I don't know. So don't worry, a lot of C5 content still coming down the pipeline before my C8 gets here. And don't worry, I plan on keeping the C5 with the C8 in tandem. The C8 I won't do too much to. It's my fun car. And this one I'll just keep farting around with. So cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys next time for another fun episode of Vet on Vets. Mark out.